Well, it all started with a prayer. Out of high school, I knew that I didn't want to go straight into college. I just didn't feel like that's where I was being led. But I knew that I was at Texas Roadhouse, and I knew that while I was there, I wanted to be intentional about sharing who Jesus was and what the love of Jesus looked like.
I started reading the Bible because I was curious to see if it would bring healing to what I was going through in the moment. And I knew Nate had a relationship with God and he believed in God. So I decided to reach out to him and ask, why can't I feel God's presence?
Nathan and I worked in To Go together, and whenever I would have anxiety attacks, Nathan was always a comfort. I had no idea at the time that he had been praying for me.
I invited a friend of mine named Juan to come to church with me. He had just lost his younger brother in a tragic accident, and I could tell that at first he wasn't necessarily interested in coming into a church space.
We went to a Sunday morning service, and Pastor Chris was talking about how leaders lead from their knees, and at the end we prayed from kneeling, and all I could do was cry and ask to have Jesus come into my life.
I knew my next step in life was to give my life to Christ and to commit to Him. I was very hesitant at first because I always felt a relationship with God was something transactional, and I had to be good enough or a certain way to have a relationship with Him. But I finally realized that He truly loved me for who I was, and I could trust in Him.
He actually ended up coming to a soul night, and that's when I realized that there's something stirring in his heart, and I was seeing him have questions and him really just want to know more about why does it feel like God's calling me. Following that night, me and we met with him in Starbucks, and that's when he prayed to receive Jesus. And he ended up getting baptized, and his brother got baptized too.
I got baptized shortly after.
And it was just really cool seeing all of my friends really just make these decisions to follow Jesus, and seeing the life change that they were experiencing because of, and all I could think about was the prayer that I prayed.
Yeah. Did you have any idea what would happen next?
I didn't know for sure, but I knew that I was seeing too much life change for that tonight to continue.
We started inviting our coworkers from Roadhouse more and more. Specifically, two of my close friends, my best friends, Brandon and Mason. And the first night that they came, they gave their life to Jesus, and I was bawling, actually, I was a wreck. And it was cool to see what God did in Brandon's life and with his whole family. His little sister accepted Jesus and got baptized. His older sister also accepted Jesus and got baptized. And then his parents even took their next step and also got baptized.
I really started to gain more relationship with people that I was working shifts with, starting to really just bond in ways that I didn't expect.
Refresh 2024 was coming up, and we decided to invite more friends, specifically Blanca. That night she liked it, and she gave her life to Jesus, which is really cool to see also.
I came to Refresh 2024, and I just knew I was supposed to give my life to Christ, and it just felt right and to do my next step.
We just kept inviting our friends to church or YA, and we just felt like we were at someone's baptism every other week. I invited some more friends from Roadhouse to January Soul Night. By the end of the night, all three sisters had said yes to Jesus. It was so cool seeing Tabitha, Miley, and Charlize all say yes to God that night.
We decided to do a prayer night at Roadhouse, and two of our friends accepted Jesus into their life as well.
That Sunday when Nat was getting baptized, we added some friends there from Roadhouse to watch it, and Ashton was there, and I just got to talking to him about faith, and he ended up deciding before baptisms even started that he wanted to commit his life to the Lord, and I prayed that prayer with him right then.
How has it been seeing God just move in your life and your friends' lives over the last few months?
I think it's proof of God's faithfulness and His love for us, how generous He is. It has been all I can say, it's good. So good.
It's felt very almost unreal. I knew us as one group of people who lived their lives a certain way, and now seeing us completely change and being able to talk about Christ, talk about our relationship with God has been something truly beautiful.
Forever changed. Forever changed. Forever changed. Forever changed.
Forever changed.
Were you nervous to tell your coworkers about Jesus early on? I was nervous, but it was much more about not wanting to come across as judgmental, because that's not what the gospel is to me. I didn't want to share that aspect of it.
So what changed?
I saw God work through simple prayers before my shifts. I saw people begin to ask me questions about what it meant to follow God and what it meant to know Jesus. And after seeing that, I started to wonder what would happen if I started acting with some intentionality behind it.